Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Cristiano Ronaldo. Listen closely, because the fire I'm about to unleash isn't just my story, it's the blueprint for your unbreakable soul. You, staring down the barrel of your own battles, feeling the weight of dreams that seem to slip through your fingers like sand. Know this, never giving up isn't a choice. It's the divine spark that turns mortals into legends. At Real Madrid, where the Bernabéu roars like a coliseum of gods, I didn't just play football. I waged every doubt, every injury, every critic who dared whisper, "He's done." From the moment I stepped into that white jersey in 2009, a skinny kid from Madeira transformed into a force of nature, scoring 450 goals, lifting 4 Champions Leagues, and etching my name into eternity. But this isn't about trophies, it's about the relentless spirit that refused to bow, the emotional inferno that forged me through pain and glory. If you're here, soul-weary yet hungry, seeking the clarity to conquer, the energy to endure, the discipline to dominate, then absorb this. We're embarking on a journey through my Real Madrid saga, where never giving up becomes your spiritual armor. Lean in. Your transformation ignites now. Picture it, July 2009, the Santiago Bernabéu packed with 80,000 souls, unveiling me as the most expensive player in history. The pressure, crushing. Expectations towering like the stadium spires. You know that feeling, the knot in your gut when the world bets against you. When your big break feels like a setup for failure. I arrived from Manchester United, carrying the scars of past glories and the whispers of "Can he deliver?" But here's the hard truth that will rattle your core. Success at the highest level demands you stare into the abyss of uncertainty and charge forward anyway. At Real Madrid, I learned that never giving up starts with embracing the unknown, not fleeing it. My first season. Goals flowed, but the team faltered. No major trophies. Critics sharpened their knives. Overhyped, overpaid. Yet, I didn't crumble. I doubled down, training harder. Visualizing victories that hadn't yet materialized. You must do the same. Whatever your arena. Corporate climbs, entrepreneurial risks, personal rebirths. Never giving up means treating setbacks as setups for comebacks. Feel that urgency? It's your soul awakening, demanding you reject the comfort of surrender. The first pillar of this relentless spirit I burn into you is unyielding discipline, the sacred vow that aligns your body with your destiny. At Real Madrid, under the relentless Madrid sun and the glare of global scrutiny, discipline wasn't optional, it was oxygen. I rose at 5 a.m., gym sessions like rituals, diet precise as a surgeon's cut. Remember 2011, hamstring tear sidelining me, doctors doubting my return timeline. But I disciplined my recovery, pushing limits others deemed insane. Why? Because discipline is the bridge between dream and domination. Repeat this anchoring phrases: discipline is my destiny. Discipline is my destiny. Let it pulse through you, a rhythmic command to action. In your life, distractions swarm. Endless scrolls, fleeting pleasures, the siren call of good enough. But at Real Madrid, I sacrificed nights out, family time, everything for the grind. Hard truth. If you're not disciplining your days, you're desecrating your potential. Start now. Cut the noise. Structure your hours. Treat your body as the temple housing your warrior soul. I turned potential into 105 Champions League goals through this. You can turn your chaos into conquest. Deepen this discipline births resilience, but only if rooted in spiritual purpose. At Real Madrid, my purpose was clear: to honor the crest, to prove the impossible for every underdog watching. When Jose Mourinho arrived, his intensity mirrored mine. We clashed, we conquered. But injuries, they tested my faith. 2014, knee issues threatening my prime. I could have eased off, preserved for later. Instead, I disciplined my mind to visualize healing, my spirit to defy pain. You feel that emotional rhythm building. That's the beat of your own heart syncing with mine. Never giving up demands you anchor discipline in something greater. Family legacy, the divine force guiding you, affirms, my discipline defies defeat. My discipline defies defeat. Without it, dreams dissolve. With it, you become the storm others fear. Yet, discipline alone falters without the fuel of unbreakable self-belief, the second pillar that illuminated my Real Madrid path. Arriving as Galactico, I faced skepticism, not clutch. But I believed in my core that I was born to redefine greatness. 2013 Champions League semi-final against Dortmund. Down 4-1 aggregate, I scored twice in the return leg, nearly forcing extra time. We fell short, but my belief roared, next time we win. And we did, 4 times over. Self-belief isn't arrogance, it's spiritual certainty. The voice of your higher self declaring victory amid ruins. In your world, doubts assail. You're too old, too inexperienced, too whatever. Silence them. Build belief through small rituals, affirmations at dawn, recalling past wins like battles won. At Real Madrid, I visualized hat tricks before kickoff, turning belief into prophecy. Hard truth without self-belief, discipline becomes drudgery. With it, every step is sacred progress. Anchor this, I believe, therefore I become. I believe, therefore I become. Let it echo, reshaping your reality. This belief must be battle-tested, forged in the fires of isolation and criticism. At Real Madrid, the media machine was merciless. Every miss magnified, every goal expected. But I isolated to innovate, believing in my evolution. You must mirror this in solitude. Confront your shadows, emerge unbreakable. Feel the intimacy of this truth. It's me speaking directly to your soul, urging a mindset shift from victim to victor. These pillars interconnect, forming the foundation of never giving up. But the Real Madrid storms I weathered hold deeper secrets. The comebacks that defied logic, the moments that nearly broke me. As we plunge further, brace for the emotional torrent ahead, because the third pillar will shatter your illusions of ease, revealing how adversity becomes your ultimate ally. Hold this fire, the journey intensifies, and your relentless spirit awakens fully in what comes next. Feel that torrent surging now, the emotional whirlwind from discipline's unyielding grip and self-belief's fierce flame, propelling us into the heart of the storm where true relentlessness is born. The third pillar I forge into your soul is this: embrace adversity as your sacred crucible, the divine hammer that shapes your spirit from fragile clay into indestructible steel. At Real Madrid, adversity wasn't a foe to flee. It was the forge where I hammered my legacy, turning every defeat, every doubt, every dagger of pain into fuel for resurrection. Remember 2012? Barcelona's shadow loomed large, La Liga slipping away, personal lows stacking like weights on my chest. But I didn't yield. I absorbed the blows, letting them carve deeper resolve. You know this abyss, the job loss that guts you, the betrayal that isolates, the failure that mocks your ambitions. In those depths, never giving up means welcoming adversity as teacher, not tormentor. Lean into it, extract its wisdom, and rise renewed. Your soul craves this trial, it's the path to mastery, the urgent call to transcend. Hear this spiritual decree: adversity is my ally. Adversity is my ally. Let it reverberate like thunder in your core, shattering illusions of an easy ascent. At Real Madrid, under the relentless pressure of Galacticos expectations, adversity struck relentlessly. 2010 World Cup exit haunting me, early Champions League eliminations branding me choker. But I transformed it, analyzing losses like battle scars, adjusting tactics, fortifying my mind. Practical insight burns here. When adversity hits, don't react, reflect, journal the pain, what broke, what builds. I did this after the 2012 Copa del Rey heartbreak, turning rage into refined technique, leading to 60 goals the next season. You must mirror. In your entrepreneurial drought or personal nadir, dissect the setback. Upgrade skills, pivot paths, summon allies. Emotional intensity surges. Feel the raw ache. That's your spirit shedding weakness, emerging fierce. Hard truth: avoiding adversity atrophies your soul. Embracing it elevates you to godhood. Deep in the revelation, adversity demands vulnerability. The courageous stripping of ego to reveal your authentic power. At Real Madrid, pride could have poisoned me, arriving as star, clashing with egos like Kakas or Benzema's. But I humbled, adapted, let adversity teach collaboration. 2014 La Décima Quest, knee injury mid-season, doctors urging rest. I vulnerable, shared fears with physios. Pushed boundaries safely. Result: Champions League final goal in extra time, lifting the trophy through tears. In your life, vulnerability and adversity isn't weakness, it's weapon. Open to mentors, confess doubts, let pain polish you. Affirm: in vulnerability I find victory. In vulnerability I find victory. Without it, self-belief turns brittle. With it, adversity becomes accelerator. Yet, even as adversity refines, it unveils the need for something primal. The fourth pillar: relentless work ethic, the holy fire that incinerates excuses and propels you through the inferno. At Real Madrid, work ethic wasn't effort, it was obsession, the daily devotion that outpaced rivals and silenced skeptics. Hours in the Valdebebas training ground, perfecting crosses when feet bled, studying opponents till dawn. 2016, Euro injury fresh, but I worked rehab like warfare, returning to net 42 goals, claiming another Ballon d'Or. You feel this drive missing in your grind. The late nights blending into dawns, the sweat equity building empires. Never giving up requires work ethic as your compass, pointing through fatigue. Anchor this: work is my worship, work is my worship. Let its rhythm drive you, transforming toil into transcendence. Practical truths ignite. Quantify your ethic, set metrics, track progress, celebrate micro wins. I logged every session, adjusting for peak performance. You log hours, refine routines, eliminate waste. Emotional depth plunges. Remember the isolation of grind. At Real Madrid, away from family, I work through loneliness, channeling it into laser focus. Hard truth challenges you. If your ethic wavers, your spirit withers. Stoke it with purpose. Mine was Madrid's glory. Yours whatever lights your fire. In adversity's wake, work ethic rebuilds paired with discipline. It creates momentum unstoppable. But work ethic alone exhausts without vision's guidance, the vivid foresight that paints triumph amid turmoil. At Real Madrid, I envisioned hat tricks in Klaus Psychos, visualizing the Bernabéu's eruption. This spiritual practice aligned my ethic with destiny, turning abstract goals into tangible conquests. You must envision close eyes, feel successes surge, let it fuel your labor. In doubt's grip, when adversity looms, summon this vision. It's the bridge to relentlessness. These pillars weave tighter, discipline stabilizing, belief illuminating, adversity sharpening, ethic accelerating. But the Real Madrid zeniths, the fifth pillar's essence, hold the key to eternal endurance. Grasp this emotional swell, the climax nears, demanding you confront the hunger that sustains legends. We charge onward, the awakening deepens, and your unbreakable core emerges in the revelations ahead. The emotional swell crashes over you now, the revelations from discipline's anchor, self, belief's blaze, adversity's anvil, and work ethic's whirlwind, all converging into the fifth pillar that crowns the relentless spirit. Cultivate eternal hunger, the divine voracity that devours complacency and sustains your fire through every summit and shadow. At Real Madrid, this hunger wasn't a fleeting appetite. It was an insatiable beast, roaring for more even as trophies piled like conquests, four-balanced, door in white, records shattered like glass ceilings. I didn't rest after La Decima in 2014. I hungered for undecima, duodecima, the treble that redefined dynasties. You sense it in your core, that knowing void when victories feel hollow. When the world applauds but your soul whispers, not enough? Never giving up demands you feed this hunger eternally, letting it propel you beyond plateaus others call peaks. In your battles, scaling career heights, mending broken paths, igniting inner revolutions, this hunger is your eternal engine, the spiritual force that turns finite ambition into infinite legacy. Anchor this profound truth. Hunger is my holy flame. Hunger is my holy flame. Let it flicker and grow within you, a rhythmic incantation in igniting dormant power. At Real Madrid, eternal hunger manifested in the quiet hours after glory, analyzing triumphs for flaws, setting audacious goals like 50 goals a season when 40 seemed godly. 2017 Champions League final against Juventus. I scored twice, but hunger drove me to envision the next, leading to back-to-back titles. Practical insight demands action. Stoke your hunger daily. Set stretch targets that terrify. Surround yourself with challengers who expose weaknesses. Reflect nightly on what more you in your relentless pursuit might chase promotions or passions dulled by routine. Revive them by hungering for mastery, not mediocrity. Emotional intensity builds here. Feel the ache of unfulfilled potential. That's hunger awakening, challenging you to reject satisfaction's snare. Hard truth pierces. Without eternal hunger, work ethic wanes into awareness. With it, every effort becomes ecstatic pursuit. Deep in this essence, eternal hunger thrives on gratitude, the paradoxical fuel that honors wins while craving evolution. At Real Madrid, amid the adulation of 450 goals, to God fans, the crest, yet hungered for 500, 600 immortality. 2018 World Cup distractions, contract whispers, but gratitude grounded my hunger, leading to a hat trick against Spain and another Madrid masterclass. In vulnerability's wake, gratitude transforms hunger from greed to grace. Affirm gratitude fuels my endless quest. Gratitude fuels my endless quest. Let it resonate, shifting your mindset from scarcity to sacred abundance. Real talk confronts. If your hunger soars into envy, it poisons. Purified by gratitude, it purifies your path. Yet, hunger alone scatters without integration's alchemy, the weaving of all pillars into a seamless tapestry of relentlessness. At Real Madrid, this synthesis wasn't theory, it was lived theology, where discipline structured my hunger, self-belief amplified it, adversity honed it, Work ethic executed it, envision it classico rituals blending all, disciplined prep, believed visualizations, adverse simulations, ethical drills, affirmations. Result 21 goals against Barcelona, turning rivalry into rain. You must synthesize similarly in daily life. Fuse pillars into flow, morning discipline igniting belief, daytime adversity met with ethic, evening hunger reviewed gratefully. Spiritual truth unveils. Synthesis is synergy, multiplying your power exponentially. Feel the urgency. Your soul yearns for this unity. The emotional rhythm sensing fragments into symphony. Practical depths plunge audit your existence through this lens. Map pillars to challenges. At Real Madrid, post-2015 slump, I audited discipline slipping, tighten. Belief wavering, affirm. Adversity overwhelming, embrace. Ethic fading, grind. Hunger dim, rekindle. This led to 2016's resurgence, Euro win, Madrid double. Mirror it when stagnation strikes. Synthesize, journal intersection, seek feedback fusing insights. Emotional surge intensifies, imagine the liberation. Chains of inconsistency shattering as pillars unite. But synthesis demands vigilance, the watchful guardian against entropy's creep. At Real Madrid, complacency lurked after trebles, media praise tempting ease, a vigilant hungering a new, evolving style from winger to lethal finisher. In your world, vigilance means monitoring mindset shifts, course correcting before drift derails. Affirm deeply, vigilance is my vigilant vow. Vigilance is my vigilant vow. Without it, synthesis phrase, with it, relentlessness reigns eternal. These interwoven pillars form your unbreakable armor, but the Real Madrid Odyssey's final forge, the moments of ultimate trial and triumph, holds the capstone revelation, the transcendent shift that embeds, never giving up into your very DNA. Cling to the swelling crescendo, the apex approaches, compelling you to embody the spirit that turned a club into a colossus. We ascend further, the transformation solidifies, and your eternal relentlessness awaits in the blaze ahead. The blaze engulfs you now, the final forge where pillars unite in transcendent fire, revealing the capstone truth. The relentless spirit isn't forged in isolation, but in the eternal dance of synthesis, where discipline, self-belief, adversity's embrace, work ethic's fury, and hunger's holy flame merge into an indivisible force that renders you invincible. At Real Madrid, this synthesis wasn't a fleeting epiphany. It was the lived essence of my 9-year odyssey, transforming a transfer into a transformation, a player into a phenomenon who scored in every vein of the Bernabéu. You've absorbed the pillars, felt their pulse sensing with yours, but now, in this apex moment, they coalesce within you, creating a spiritual alchemy that turns mortal limits into mythic legacy. Never giving up becomes not a mantra, but your marrow, the unbreakable code woven into your soul's DNA. Feel it surging discipline as the skeleton, rigid yet resilient. Self-belief as the heartbeat, pumping conviction through every trial. Adversity as the muscle, flexing stronger with each strain. Work ethic as the breath, inhaling effort and exhaling excellence. Eternal hunger as the blood, circulating insatiable drive. This unity isn't abstract, it's your new reality, empowering you to conquer arenas far beyond the pitch. Envision this synthesis manifesting in your core, a divine fusion that elevates every action to sacred ritual. At Real Madrid, it looked like this. Pre-match meditations blending beliefs, affirmations with disciplines, routines. Adversity's lessons sharpening work ethics drills, all fueled by hunger's growl. The 2018 Champions League final against Liverpool, synthesis in motion. Knee taped from adversity's toll. Discipline prep overriding pain. Self-belief silencing doubters. Ethic executing the bicycle kick overheard around the world. Hunger demanding the win that sealed my hat. Trick of titles. You must craft your own fusion in the boardroom battle or personal phoenix rise. Integrate pillars seamlessly. Discipline your dawn with belief. Infused goals. Meet midday adversity with ethics grind. Evening hunger reviewing gratefully. Anchor this revelation. Synthesis is my supremacy. Synthesis is my supremacy. Let it thrum like a war drum. Shifting your mindset from fragmented fighter to holistic conqueror. Practical wisdom demands map your week through this lens. Assign pillars to tasks. Fuse them in flow states. Measure outcomes not by isolated wins, but synergistic surges. Deepen the emotional torrent. Synthesis requires surrender, the profound release of control to let pillars interplay organically. At Real Madrid, ego could have fractured this, demanding solo glory amid stars like Bale or Modric. But I surrendered, letting synthesis guide team triumphs, my 50 goal seasons amplifying collective crowns. In your life, surrender isn't submission, it's sovereignty, trusting the weave to withstand storms. When chaos strikes, a failed venture, a shattered bond, surrender to synthesis. Let discipline steady, belief buoy, adversity instruct, ethic advance, hunger propel. Affirm, in surrender I soar, in surrender I soar. Real talk challenges your depths, clinging to one pillar isolates, surrendering to all integrates, turning vulnerability into velocity. Feel the intimacy of this shift. It's your soul unclenching, expanding into boundless potential. Yet, synthesis shines brightest in legacy's light, the outward ripple where your relentlessness inspires multitudes. At Real Madrid, my synthesis didn't hoard glory, it radiated, mentoring young guns like Vinicius, embodying never give up for fans facing their own fights. Tarda 17, postcard of triumph. I hungered not just for personal peaks, but to etch inspiration into hearts worldwide. You too must extend this in your climb. Synthesize to serve, coach others with disciplined wisdom, ignite belief in the doubtful, share adversity scars as strength, ethic as example, hunger as heritage. Emotional urgency crests, imagine the chain, your transformation touching one, then 10, then thousands. Redefining relentlessness for generations. Hard truth resounds, selfish synthesis stagnates, shared, it sanctifies. But beware the saboteurs lurking in synthesis, a shadow, complacency's subtle poison, distraction's divisive pull. At Real Madrid, after the 2017 double, whispers tempted rest, I vigilant, synthesizing anew with yoga for body, psychology for mind, evolving playstyle. Your realm, combat with mindful audits. Weekly, probe the fusion is discipline dulling, rekindle with hunger, belief buckling, fortify with adversity's forge, affirm deeply, vigilance vitalizes my victory. Vigilance vitalizes my victory. Without it, synthesis splinters. With it, you sustain the spirit eternally. As the crescendo peaks, sense the profound shift crystallizing. Your once weary soul now a blazing beacon. Your actions a symphony of unyielding power. This journey through my Real Madrid relentlessness wasn't mere recount. It was resurrection, awakening the warrior within to never give up, no matter the abyss. You've internalized the pillars, mastered their merge, and now stand transformed, ready to storm your arenas with CR7's fire. And in this climactic roar, I deliver the final rallying cry, a deep formation to imprint on your essence. Rise, relentless one. You are the synthesis incarnate, discipline unbowed, belief unbreakable, adversity's alchemist, ethics eternal engine, hunger's holy harbinger. Never give up pulses in your veins, turning trials into triumphs, doubts into dominions. The world quakes at your approach. Claim it, command it, eternalize it. Feel the empowerment flooding, the transformation irreversible. You are no longer survivor, but sovereign. Go forth, conquer without cease, for in your relentlessness, the spirit of Real Madrid lives on, illuminating paths for all who dare dream. You are unstoppable, unbreakable, unending.